Hi everyone, Psych Cow here with an important documentary for you today. This is the story of Mr. G and his mission to place top 6 in squads by himself. It's important when trying to do such dangerous feats among hostile peoples to always remember your training and to always remember that this is going to be more like Splinter Cell than it's going to be anything like a normal game. The hunt for shields is ongoing. Stopping never, Mr. G searches endlessly and tirelessly. Finding a pocket of treasure chests, he finds some smalls and grenades he will need for later. Using his shovel that he's used to dig many latrines, he uses it now to destroy boxes. Oh yes, this chug jug will do very nicely in the coming battles. Ever vigilant of high populated areas, Mr. G searches now for a choice bush to spend the night so that when the hill shrinks again, he can move. This one will do. Not too low, not too high, and certainly unoccupied. Perfect place to pass the night. Having recently been alerted to the oncoming storm, Mr. G moves forward, hoping for new safe haven within the new eye of the storm. Though the road ahead is beautiful and often it is easy to get lost in its splendor, Mr. G remains ever vigilant, constantly on alert, looking for hostiles or loot. Wary of such a noisy place, he keeps his distance. He does not want to be caught unaware by people's footsteps, but he catches sight of something that's worth the risk. A blue pump shotgun. This could help him win the oncoming battles. As the hill shrinks, Mr. G understands that he has entered a phase where it is far more powerful to know the location of an enemy than to kill him. Doing his best to suss out their numbers, he takes cover in the skirt of a bush. Tree. A bush tree, yes. Deciding that there are a number of assailants pushing that tower, it is far better to chance that they are not going to be able to hit a serpentining target than to stay in such a horrible position. The oncoming storm has potential for a lot of damage. Taking a moment to catch his breath, he prepares for the divot in the hill that would expose him to the horrible sniper. Ever confident that most people don't know how to hit a moving target with an arcing projectile, he hunts still for a good bush. All of the shooting has undoubtedly attracted a lot of unwanted attention to that sniper, possibly even his doom. Will this be the bush? Checking for a high ground bush, he does not find one, and decides that knowledge is power. If he knows where the hill will be going next, he can use that to his advantage, especially if he's not being shot. Habitually checking his map, Mr. G prepares for the next hill. Recognizing that the hill has favored him and that time and high ground is his biggest weapon, he moves cautiously to as close to the hill as he can get without sacrificing high ground. He also recognizes that a golden chest is far more valuable as a distraction. So he posts up to observe an enemy squad gathering materials. They almost look like a squad of ants building a nest. Oh, oh, goodbye, little ants. We'll be seeing you soon. Did one of your friends take fall damage? Probably. Using his ears, Mr. G recognizes the sound of building approaching, so he uses his amazing camouflage to hide behind a tree. Scatter blasting with explosions, he knocks someone. Not wanting to risk exposing his position, he falls back upon making too much noise. He will have to trust that the other people alive will handle them. Now is time for another safe haven bush, so that he can once again use the knowledge of the hill to his advantage. Dozing off with the portafort in his hand, he thinks about victory. With the report of a shotgun, a squad is eliminated. Seeing his quarry, he fails to recognize that another person has died outside of the zone. Thinking he is fighting 3 people, he has a moment of hesitation. Does he use the portafort to build up rapidly and kill them? Or does he use it as a distracto fort? Ultimately deciding he has enough materials, the distracto fort would be the most valuable use. His aim is true and the portafort lands within the hill. Using the coverage of the branches, he swoops closer to his quarry. He knows that if he maintains this distance to the pinch, he'll easily be able to avoid the storm by walking. It's almost a full 10 seconds before his quarry loses patience and attacks the portafort, allowing him to swoop into his blind spot. Mr. G has another moment of hesitation. Should he hug the building and see where the next hill is, or should he gain high ground? Ultimately, he realizes high ground is best, so he builds up. His assailant misses a critical strike and the build war begins. More critical strikes are exchanged and miss. Mr. G misses a jump due to a well-timed wall from his assailant, but is saved by a floor from his assailant. Quickly building up, he gets to full HP and waits to see what happens next. His fortress holds, and he makes his move. This hill is not to be underestimated. His assailant's aim proves horrible once again, and the build war starts. Realizing a shotgun report is still better than nothing, he then switches to his scar and wins. Building a shrine to the fallen, he runs out of time to do the dance of his people. This has been a Sight Count documentary. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy.